To this day, zombie related and just apocalyptic video games in general have been very much still relevant. Whether you like them or not, these games have paved the way for what this genre is really capable of. Considering the fact that the Resident Evil 2 remake came out just earlier this year, it made me pretty excited for the release of Days Gone. And then that fateful day came, and reviews started pouring in. Many felt mixed about it, but it seemed as if the general idea was that it was average or mediocre. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. A PlayStation exclusive mediocre. I just had to prove them wrong, so as soon as I could get the chance, I bought it. That way, I could finally sink my teeth into this sucker and see what it's really made of. Cue the music.
Oh, you suck!
Hey, how's it going everybody? It's me, it's a Ye Kind of Life, and I'd like to present this review of Days Gone to all you fine people out there. But before we begin, I just want to say that I'm very appreciative of all the support ever since the beginning. Right now, we have 15 subscribers. I know it's not a lot, okay, but we're going to get up there. I believe in all of us. So anyways, I hope you all have had a wonderful 2019 so far. So let's just get to the video. Oh yeah, baby. To begin this very review, I wanted to share a few details about the story. In this tale of survival by Ben Studios, you play as Deacon St. John, a drifter whose life turned upside down by the infestation of freakers overrunning the state of Oregon and many other places throughout the United States. To make matters worse, at the start of these events, while the first few evacuations were going on, Deacon sacrificed himself and stayed in this cesspool of chaos just so his wife could be taken to safety. After that, she was never seen again. It's been over 2 years since her disappearance, and right here is where you get plunged into the game. A very test of survival, if you will, where it's just you, your bike, and the open road. For those of you who are calling these freakers zombies, they're not. They're just not. As similar as they are to each other though, there are a few differences that I will give a little later in the video. Just trust me on this, and
Have some goddamn faith!
But for now, I'm going to be talking about the gameplay itself and pretty much what you'll be doing in this open world. Being able to survive in a world like Days Gone can be pretty difficult at times, but it would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for the help of your bike, the one that you're going to be riding throughout the entire game, and, in my opinion, was the best part of my experience. Other than fighting off the freakers themselves, of course. Although during the first few hours of the game, I felt that the controls on the bike were pretty awkward and hard to control, but once I had upgraded it more just by going to different mechanics that they provide for you as you get farther in the game, the more I actually enjoyed riding it. In fact, just the handling of it alone is something that I'll never forget. There are two things though that you'll have to keep in check while riding the bike, and that is the gas and being able to repair it just in case it takes any amount of damage. These may seem like a hindrance at first, but they're really not if you know where to look. Now, sometimes you'll find gas cans near establishments and tow trucks, for example, while scrap needed for repairing are usually found under the hoods of cars, which are very easy to stumble upon. If you don't feel like picking up gas cans all the time, which I would understand, they do have various gas stations placed around the map where you can just refuel at the pumps. Before I end this section of the video off, I wanted to talk about one negative aspect I did have in regards to the bike, and that was its very own customization. I felt that they could have added more extra options just in the way that you could design it, so that way you could feel as if this was something of your very own creation. Now I'm sure you're all wondering, how are the weapons? Well, let me tell you, there are a lot of choices for when you go into the fight with other survivors or freakers. These can range from sniper rifles, shotguns, assault rifles, and even some pretty cool pistols too. The cool thing about it is that you can even apply suppressors to some of them. That way you can go in loud or quiet whenever you feel like it. And speaking of quiet, you can even use, wait for it, a crossbow, and be just like Daryl from The Walking Dead. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. And you know what would go good with a crossbow? A melee weapon, such as a fire axe or a baseball bat. But I will warn you, all types of melee weapons will break over time, so you're either gonna have to repair it, or just get a new one. The only melee weapon that never breaks, and is always reliable, is your knife. The only downside is that it's not very effective one-on-one. So it's best if you get him with a sneak attack. What's up? With this being the end of the discussion, let's talk about negatives. Let's think real quick. Well, for one thing, the shooting was fine, but it would have been better if there was more impact behind the bullets, if you know what I mean. And the last thing, there wasn't any RPGs or high-tech explosives. Fortunately though, there are grenades, Molotovs, and other explosives that you can create by using the game's crafting system that they provide for you. Continuing on, pretty much the main story itself I thought was interesting and fun, while most of the time it made me wonder what was going to happen next. Deacon's character added a lot to the storytelling element, not just by entertaining you, but just by showing you what he's gone through, the negatives, the positives. It really makes you feel for him, especially because he still hasn't found out what has happened to his wife after all this time. My only complaint was that there were maybe 4 or 5 missions that involved stealth and eavesdropping on people. Now, as you can see right here, there are people in hazmat suits walking around in the snow, right? You'd think maybe they would see me hiding in the bushes. I can understand maybe freakers overlooking me, but come on, these people should have seen me. That alone is something that they probably could have improved upon, but besides all of that, there are a lot of side missions to keep yourself occupied, like rescuing people and getting rid of enemy camps. Never once did I feel like I was getting bored doing these tasks, and not only that, but they help a lot with upgrading your skill tree and just overall helping you have a better time with the game. If this doesn't interest you guys, then let me tell you this. Lately they've been adding more updates to the game that consist of challenges that are supposed to test your wit and skill with the bike and just fighting the enemies. I'm not really one for challenges all the time, so maybe you guys will enjoy them more than I will. Oh, and you know how I said fighting the freakers was one of my favorite parts besides riding the bike? Well, in Days Gone, sometimes you'll come across hordes of them that like hiding in caves during the day, come out at night, and unlike zombies, others like to make nests in buildings and other places. What I thought was really messed up and also kinda sad was that they have infected kids in this game. Those like to stay up on the rooftops and just high places in general. Finally, before I finish this small talk of Freakers 101, the main point and the biggest benefit of killing these freakers is that each kill counts as a bounty credit that goes towards being able to buy supplies at the various camps that you'll visit as you move on from place to place. Alright, everybody, we're just about halfway through this. No, I'm just kidding, but I am almost done with the video. I just need to talk about the music and the graphics, and that pretty much sums it all up. Discussing the music, I thought that it fit the mood just right for the most part, and it gave you just the right amount of suspense, especially when I was being chased by the hordes upon hordes of freakers. Graphics I thought looked beautiful, and the lush forests really just added on to it all. It really gave me an idea of what Oregon looked like in real life. Hey, maybe I'll even go there one day. So, let me tell you something that you'll never forget. Were the days spent with Days Gone worth it? Yeah, definitely. It may not be a perfect game by any means, considering that this is Sony Ben's first open world game, but it sure as hell gets the job done right. That's why I'm going to be giving Days Gone an 8 out of 10 and an extra credit score of a yeah! I just think it's wrong with the amount of flack the game has been getting, and to me it's really an underrated one at that. Yeah, there may have been a lot of bug fixes at launch, but I'm willing to forgive them on that because this is just the beginning for them with this kind of game. I just hope that their chances for making a sequel isn't ruined, if that is what they plan to do. So, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed until then. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. Remember to hit that notification bell so you never miss a single video. And never forget to have a ye kind of life. Now if you'll excuse me, I got another horde to exterminate. Let's do this. Yeah!